we've been working together now for just over a couple of years, I think. Can you tell me some of the ways that you have benefited from the coaching that you've received?
Yeah. I think one of the key ways that has benefited me is just I've read lots of different books that you've suggested, and we've been putting lots of these things into practice. Key ones are A World Without Email, and which is a book that's trying to make you communicate less through micro interruptions, just throwing out emails or receiving emails and constantly checking them, to instead package up your communications into ways that are then structured and effective, that don't interrupt their time or your time. And one way one extremely practical way is recently had a big deadline, and that involved 4 of us in the team and 2 people beneath me and my boss. And what that had meant what that meant was there was lots to get through, and with long hours and everything. And so what we did was we put all the activities down on a Trello board, and what that enabled was for me to touch base to see where people are at straight away without even talking to them. I'd open the Trello board, and so when my boss calls me, I can quickly give them an update on what everyone's doing, what everyone's working on, and at the same time I can add to their lists and their boards the things to do. So as they're working through their list, then it's never ending, but they can strategically go through them, and I can prioritize what they do as well. So instead of calling them, hey, I need this done as soon as possible, top of the list, and people would then be interrupted and they never finished a thing, this then allowed them to, without all that stress, complete their activity and go to the next one. And I would have then structured the next one to be the one that I think is most important. And we'd regularly touch base and do this. And actually, I thought it was extremely valuable. And another one was on that same book, spoke about how it presents this idea where 2 people working from one computer is not half as efficient. Because you think, oh well, they haven't got a computer each, so they must be a lot slower. But in that example is about how you're more productive because you're less distracted. An email comes in, and because you're both working on the same thing at the same time, in proximity with each other, then you don't get distracted. And actually, with working from home, we had Zoom open, and we both had 2 screens. And on one screen, they're sharing their screen, so I can see what they're doing. And on the other screen, I'm sharing my screen. And so actually we had 2 people working on 2 things with 2 computers, so another level up. And we were so efficient and so effective. And we sat down and we did like a 6-hour slog, and we smashed out a design that I think would normally have taken that person maybe 2 weeks to do, and we did it in 1 day, which is, and that saved my validation and verification process that I have to do on their work. And whenever they got stuck, we would do it, and there were no distractions. Any calls and things that came in, we stuck our heads down, we got on with it. And it was, that blew me away, actually, our output from that. And that came from, our sessions that we sat down and talking about how to do this stuff. And, that's deep work, absolutely. We blocked out the time, we sat down, we did it. So that's deep work in practice. That's World Without Email in practice. That's, I'm sure a whole lot more leadership and everything. Yeah.
Tell me, thanks, Sam. That's amazing. It's a great case study. Tell me a little bit about you individually. What has changed over the period of time that we've been working together in terms of your own personal performance, whether that's focus and lack of distraction, or just developing yourself?
Yeah. I think one thing that has changed a lot is the way I see my time. And it may sound silly, but I pretend that I'm a barrister. So some £300 an hour paid fella, and as silly as that is, what that means is I've been trying to be the master of my time. So instead of being pulled pillar to post by all the demands of everyone, do this for me, do that for me, and even from myself trying to be helpful and all the rest of it, instead it's my diary is full, I'm afraid. I'm extremely busy, I'm extremely effective, I'm extremely productive. And if you want me to do that thing, and if my workload is already this high, well then what piece of work would you like back? Or and that sort of thing. And so that has allowed me to then stay focused and stay intentional and to actually do much, much more. I think my productivity has, but even maybe part of COVID, but and all the time we've had together since then as well. It's probably 3x, I reckon. That's crazy as it sounds.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about working 3 times hours.
No.
I'm not working, I mean, there is ebb and flow. There are peaks and troughs, but with the peak, then I'm intentional in, and even with my team, they work really hard one time. I'm intentional in saying, look, let's not slack off, but let's balance this. So yeah, that's it. I think
Brilliant.
I've been much more effective. Yeah.
That's great, Sam.